Seneca Hampton, where you at, boss?
All right, welcome back to another episode of the Big Game Breakdown, powered by Bingo Media and presented live from Knuckleheads. I'm your host, Seneca Bingo Hampton, riding shotgun with head coach Jake Bramlett. The Greyhounds handled business last week, coach, at D'Iberville 41-21. And with a bye week this week, we shining the spotlight.
42.
Oh, 42? 42 to 21. Yeah, 21.
You got to give Evan time and all them PATs,
My bad.
man.
My bad, Evan. And we're going to have Evan on the show today. But this is we have a bye week this week, so we're going to change things up a bit this week. We're going to switch things up, and we're going to spotlight about the volleyball head coach, Coach Christina Daigle, and her Lady Greyhounds are competing Thursday. In the 7A volleyball MSHASAA. That's right.
MHSAA.
That's what I said. Yeah. MH. Yeah, you know it is. Them folks up north, they championship. And we're going to go compete for that. She's going to go compete with that and win it. They went last year, I know, and I think they lost to Lewisburg. Yeah. But this year they're going back, and they're coming back with the hardware this year. So we're going to get Coach Daigle to come on here and talk. Coach Bramlett's going to do his first sit-down interview with her by herself. And we're gonna open the show up with that first before we go to talking football. So we're going to go pay some bills and go to coaches, show our Coaches Corner Spotlight. We're going to come back with Coach Daigle.
That's it.
Seneca Hampton, where you at, boss?
All right, guys, we're back, and this is going to be our Coaches Spotlight. Like Bingo said, we got something a little special for y'all tonight. And then myself doing an interview for the first time on a podcast. So it could be pretty interesting. It's brought to you by Unique Collision, and we are very excited, one, that our volleyball team is playing for a state championship, and two, to have you come talk to us. So our head volleyball coach, Christina Daigle, thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much, and I'm so honored to be your first interviewee.
Yeah, well, you know, we were talking a little bit earlier. You know, y'all have had several great seasons, and especially two in a row, going to back-to-back state championship appearances. And this is our second one total, correct, or is this third?
Yeah, this will be our second state championship win.
Second state championship.
South State,
yeah. Second state championship appearance in consecutive years. Last year you fell a little bit short to Lewisburg. Mm-hmm. What has that taught you as a coach and your team as well about getting over that hump and what we need to do a little bit differently this time?
Yeah, I mean, definitely took that experience and learned from it. We spent a lot of time even in the preseason, on mental toughness. How do you talk to yourself in a game? You know all about that, right?
Yeah.
What the input has to be positive in order for the output to be positive. So we spent a lot of time on how do you respond to mistakes. I think that they learned that the moment got a little big for them and they kind of panicked. And so, that comes with maturity. So I think that we feel much better going into it this year because all of our team was there last year essentially. And so we're going to take that experience. We've worked through the season really focusing on how do you overcome when you're down. There's been several matches this year where we've been at a pretty significant deficit, come back and won the set. So I feel like we took that loss last year, learned a lot from it, and then applied it all throughout the season to really prepare us for this game.
Yeah, well, I mean, y'all have had a very dominant season this year. I mean, y'all's record is what?
39-5.
39-5, so very dominant record. And you kind of hit all the points there as far as what you feel like is why that y'all are that way right now. And you got a bunch of girls coming back, and the experience, especially on my side of it in football, has always played a big role. And having those guys and girls that have been in those positions before. Do you have any young girls that it's kind of like their first time to?
Yeah, so this year we've only got one who didn't play in really a big game last year. But, I don't know if you remember on our roster last year, we had an 8th grader in the state championship game. We had about 4 9th graders. So we still have a lot of young players, but they have that experience. They're all sophomores now. One freshman that's been there before, but they've been there before, and that makes a difference. So we've just got one player who's a freshman who hasn't been in the big moment, but she did great last night, and I think she's got the support of the older girls around her, so we feel good about it.
Well, that's awesome because you hear a lot about the experience part, and I get even a lot of questions about like our quarterback being a sophomore. How do you deal with the inexperienced part? But the classification isn't always the biggest thing. Sometimes it's the what is the experience they've had in practice or prior in their career, and like you said, just having those kids that have done it before, have been in that moment, and seen what the best in the state has to offer is a really big deal. And we're obviously very excited for y'all to go up there and everything. But the trip to Mississippi College and it being very close to Madison Central, and I know some people up there who. I know the head volleyball coach up there. I know a bunch of people I know they're going to bring a lot of kids to the game, a lot of fans to the game. It's almost like a home game for them. Does that play any difference to y'all? Do y'all think about it much? Is the crowd as big of a deal in volleyball as it is in some other sports? Do y'all really look into it?
Yeah, absolutely. So even starting with the Brandon match, you're in that area. Brandon's a tough place to win no matter what sport you're in. So we spent a lot of practices with loud crowd noise, as loud as I could put it, making sure that they talked through the play and were able. And they even said that actually helped. We just kind of blocked it out. So they're definitely prepared in that aspect. But on the flip side, I know it's essentially a home game for Madison Central, but the way the community in Ocean Springs has responded to these girls, we have fan buses lined up. Football team has got a whole bus coming up. The student fan bus filled up. We've got people driving a caravan. So the community response has been amazing. I feel like we might show them up as far as the fan base.
Well, that's the overall goal is, I mean, we want it, if not neutral, to swing our direction a little bit. And we're all excited about coming to watch. And as soon as I was able to tell the players that, hey, this is about 99% sure that I'm going to be able to make this happen. I mean, it was I'm hoping that we got enough bus seats because at some point I may have to start making cuts to come to a volleyball game, which will be the first time we've had to have a travel roster yet. But we're very excited about coming up there. And is there anything as far as y'all's program that y'all did a little bit differently this year? I know we talked about the adjustments you made after losing in a state championship game last year in order to make it there this year, but just structurally at practice or pregame routines or anything that y'all did a little bit differently?
Yeah, I mean, I think we definitely focus a lot on mentality and mindset and how you overcome challenges. I think a lot of games last year, the moment got to them, and there's experience and things that go with it. But we spent a lot of time just talking about mental toughness. How do you, train your mind outside? There's aside from the physicality, there's the mentality part. But I will say one of the biggest differences that we made as a team was deciding to keep God at the center of our program. The girls really put their faith in that, okay, it's his plan, his purpose, and they took a lot of the self-glorification out of it, and it was for each other and for God's glory. And I feel like that just changes everything. It takes
Really
a little
does.
stress out of it for the girls. You're playing for a bigger purpose, and so that's really brought the team together, but it also just kind of helped us play a little bit lighter. So we even with Brandon yesterday, actually, our team captain Anna and their team captain, we got together and we had a team devotion together. That was something that they orchestrated, and I was so proud of them for that, because that's what it's all about. It is bigger than us, and so I think that was something that we've really put a lot of emphasis on. It's not about me, it's about us as a team, and it's even not about our glorification. It's all for God. So I think that was a big just a big change that we made. But more on a technical point of view, we've had a few setbacks this year. We had some losses that we definitely shouldn't have had, but what we did was we learned from them. Hey, we'll take a mistake in August over October, so let's learn from it and let's move from it. And it actually forced us to make some changes in the lineup that turned out to be for the better. So we, again, go back to, hey, that was God's plan for us, and we put our faith in that, and it's really, it's carried us to where we are.
Yeah, that absolutely. That's one. That's a awesome message to have for your team, and then two, for them to respond the way they have, and I mean, you see it with all great teams, is whatever it is that makes them buy into we're operating as one person right here. There may be 11 of us out here. There may be 6 of us out here. Maybe whatever your sport is, and when they start operating as one unit, that's it's an impressive thing to watch, and definitely a great thing that y'all did this year. But like Madison Central, is there any particular player to look out for, or are they just one of those complete teams that feed off of each other, or is there some standouts there that we got to figure out how to stop?
Yeah, they've got some really strong outside hitters, which is pretty typical for high school volleyball. So we were fortunate enough to play them in a tournament a few weeks ago. So we've had a little exposure. We've been able to kind of feel them out. We feel pretty confident that our front row can stop them. I think that's the biggest thing is stopping their hitters and making sure that they're a non-factor, and then keeping our offense really spread out, so we're always keeping them guessing. And the biggest thing is keeping them out of system, so they're forced to one hitter. And so we've got a lot of game film on them. We've watched them. Obviously, we've played them. And so I feel like we have the confidence, we have the preparation, so we feel like if we play our game, we'll be in a good spot.
Well, I mean, one that's I always wonder about other sports, just the film preparation and the where we're looking at specific players, or we're looking at scheme. And I've never played organized volleyball outside going and playing on the beach, so you don't really. I don't know as much about the scheme that goes behind it, and or the scout preparation and things like that, which is always good to hear about. But is there anything that you want to let the community know? I mean, obviously outside of we want all the support that we can possibly get at this game, but want to let the community know about the upcoming matchup, or just anything about the program.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, the program has made significant strides in the 5 years that I've been here. Last year was our first state championship appearance in 12 years, and the program has never won a state championship. And it's really crazy because we've had some incredible volleyball players. We've got 2 volleyball players that are still playing professional right now that came through Ocean Springs High School. So it's, I would say we don't have maybe the most talent that the team has ever had, but these girls just play together so well. So I think it's just important to call out that this could be a really historical game for our program, and they've already had historical seasons being South State champions back-to-back, but a win at the state championship would just really
it solidifies everything.
Absolutely. And I've at other programs I've been fortunate enough to win a state championship, and it's like once you get one, then they buy in, that's the expectation, and they just seem to get a little bit easier. So mostly just looking to make some history.
Well, I mean, you heard from Coach Daigle first. I mean, just the buy-in that she's gotten in her program, and the way these girls are playing for each other. We're very proud of y'all as a school district, and then obviously the community as well. So we really look forward to coming up there and bringing a crowd. And I'll be on a bus headed up with a bunch of football players. And Thursday at possibly 3 o'clock. We're hoping 4 o'clock, correct? If some of the matches before finish a little bit earlier, it could possibly get all the way up to 3 o'clock. But we're hoping for the 4 o'clock game time that was set. but as many people in the community as can get up to Mississippi College and Clinton and come support the girls and show out for Ocean Springs and bring as much support. Y'all please come. And Coach Daigle, good luck to y'all. We really look forward to watching a great match and hoping for great things at the end of it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we'll be right back. Be me and Seneca when we come back.
Seneca Hampton, where you at, boss?
This is Chase Bramlett with Bingo Media here with senior running back and athlete Sherrod Whitehead. Chop, you've been making plays all season. Just what is your mentality on the field?
Just to go win, make plays, prove people wrong, just have fun. I love football.
Now, you made some big touchdowns this year, some big plays. What is one that stands out to you?
Got to be the pedal run. The pedal run. Coach trusted me. Critical moment. I just took off. Crowd was going wild. Sealed the game, kind of. So that run was crazy.
Now, this year in the locker room, on the field, just what stands out to you about the team that's different than any other year?
Everybody's different, you know, and then the pieces just fit together. So I feel like that's really the main thing that stretches this team from all the other ones, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people have different play styles, you know, a lot of people got different mentalities, and then it all just squeezed together, and then we just perform on Friday nights.
Now, as your high school career ends, what is one message you want to leave to the younger guys before you leave?
That's a hard one. Stay the course, trust the process, you know, because everybody process different, you know what I mean? Like, you might not play your sophomore year. I didn't play my sophomore year, you know, and then you get to play your junior, senior year, and you might not play your junior year. You might just play your senior year, so just trust the process because it's going to work out in the end.
Now, last question. A lot of people want to know, who's got the best touchdown celebrations on the team?
Solo. Solo, for sure.
All right, this is Sherrod Whitehead with Chase Spring signing off. This is Chase Spring here with Bingo Media. Today I'm with senior linebacker Brody Sands for this week's Senior Spotlight. Brody, you've been a part of this program for a while, and what has it meant to you to have the Greyhound jersey on?
I just like all the guys that are here, all the coaching staff. It's really everything I could ask for. I could never think about moving out of here, even though this is the last year I got. But for what I've had, it's been a really fun experience for me.
Now, you play with a ton of energy and emotion. Just what is your mentality coming on the field?
I mean, I just go to win. I mean, at the end of the day, I have to do my job. But, you know, with the energy, I hope I can give it to the other guys, hopefully, so that they can do what they need to do in order for the whole team to win.
Now, you've had some big moments this year. Just what's one play or one game that stands out to you where you really had the biggest impact?
I'd say for this year, honestly, probably the first game, the Meridian game. I feel like I set a statement for myself.
Yeah.
I came back out there and looked even better than I did last year. And ever since that game, I've pretty much been on a roll, I feel like.
Now, as a senior leader, what is one message you would like to leave behind for your younger teammates to see?
Just always take it serious. Like, even if you don't get play time or if you're just sitting on the sideline the whole time. I mean, that's how it was sophomore year. You just take it serious. Like, if you really want to play the game, then always look at what the older guys are doing.
All right, now I want an honest question here. Who talks the most trash on defense, and are you in the top 3?
I don't really talk because I don't want to get a flag, but I'll probably say it has to be Peyton Jones.
I thought it would be Berger.
Not Gabe, but it has to be Peyton. I hear it, or Jacoby, Peyton or Jacoby, one of the two.
Okay.
I hear them after every single play.
All right, that's your senior spotlight, Brody Sands. This is Chase Spring signing off. This is Chase Spring with Bingo Media here with Week 7 Defensive Player of the Game, Gabe Verga, senior linebacker. Gabe, after a big performance last week, 15 tackles, just what was your mindset going into that game?
Our mindset was we just had to win. That's pretty much it. We had to get the business, do our job, every single one of us, and I think we succeeded in that part.
Now, as one of the leaders, seniors on the defense, what was the tone to give to the younger guys, the guys that don't talk?
We had to talk this game. It was a big game. Just try to encourage them the most, I guess, because every single part fits together, and that's just how you win games.
Now, the defense seems to just be great every week and continues to improve and get better. What is one key to that growth and chemistry?
I would have to say it's our coaches. Our coaches do a really good job of, supporting us, encouraging us, teaching us, like, our mistakes the previous week and just how to correct them. I would definitely say the coaches.
Now, looking forward to the future next week. I know we're on a bye right now, but what is the mindset going into the future?
Just keep doing what we're doing. We had a fluke game, but I think we're on track. We just got to keep working, prepare, and that's all we can do.
All right, Gabe, thank you. This is Chase Spring with Gabe Verga, signing off.
All right, big shout out to Coach Daigle and Coach Bramlett for that interview. And make sure this Thursday you go check out the Lady Greyhounds as they go up there and handle business. They've been holding it down all year.
Yep.
They've been kicking it, man, and the entire Ocean Springs community is pulling for them to bring that gold ball back home this Thursday. But all right, now let's flip it back to the gridiron. The Greyhounds rolled into D'Iberville last Friday night and handled business 42-21, a dominant region win heading into this bye week. Coach Bramlett, let's break it down inside the corner, inside the huddle with Coach's Corner, brought to you by Singing River Connect. All right, my first takeaway from the game, Coach. Coach, big road win over D'Iberville.
Yep.
What was your overall takeaway from that game, and how you guys responded after that Gulfport loss?
The response was probably the biggest thing, and we talked a lot about the Gulfport deal last week as far as what our expectations were during the practice week and handling business the way we needed to, and stepping it up a notch from our preparation the week before, and it showed on Friday night. The guys did a great job during the practice week of not letting the one loss beat them twice. And knowing you're going in playing a great D'Iberville team who was undefeated at the time and had a phenomenal defense. Their defensive front's incredible, probably one of the better teams. And we play some good defensive fronts, and they're probably one of the better ones we play. They're really good at D-line. They're good in the linebacking core, and then their DBs have been very, very solid this year. Haven't had to do a whole lot just because of the teams they've played, but in years past you felt like you could throw the ball on them, and this year there really wasn't a weakness to find. So, from the game planning side of things, it was how do you attack them, one, and then two, what in your offense do you feel like you can do the best? And we knew we were going to be down a receiver, and we really count on our four guys out wide to make our offense go. We're really lenient on that receiver unit, and when you're down one of those guys, it hamstrings you. And the way the offense operates is not isolation routes or individual routes that are called each play. It's a full concept thing, and when you take one of those normal guys out of that pattern and even try to fit somebody else into it, the rhythm that you've developed throughout the entire season and off season just isn't there anymore. And we knew our offensive line was going to be challenged this week, and we challenged them as coaches as well. The physicality side of it, of coming off of a great non-region stretch of being very physical with some good defensive fronts, and then playing pretty poorly the week before, and Solomon's really come into his own as well, and I really felt like it was an opportunity to establish the fact that we can run the ball at any time we want to, not just to other teams, but to ourselves and to our kids, and they know that we can take those same type of game plans that we had last year, and that's all we did. We lined up in the 3 formations that we ran last year all year for 9 straight games, and took a lot of our game plan outside the quarterback run aspect of it, and was like, all right, well, you ain't seen this in a while, but here you go. Yeah. And the offense line did a great job with it. You saw Lanny Waltman playing tight end down there beside Hayden Berglund. Learns that in a week, adapts, overcomes, takes pride in it. And then Sherrod really getting involved in the run game and the pass game a lot. And then going back there at quarterback and having some big runs playing quarterback too.
That's how Taysom Hill.
And, yeah, Taysom Hill. And then Chalmers did Chalmers things, and he handled the game really well. He managed it properly. His game clock management skills are getting to be incredible, to where I'm so used to having to holler on the field at quarterbacks just to make sure they know the situation, and he give you that wave off that you don't like as a coach sometimes because he got it, and just that part of the offense is really coming together and establishing that we can do that too. And then defensively, it was, all right, now you're facing a D'Iberville offense that historically has done not one thing but the same thing for a really long time and been really good at it. Well, now they're adding a new dimension to it and put the quarterback in the gun. Not only do they put him in the shotgun, this quarterback can absolutely run. He's very elusive, and when you do certain things with him, he's a nightmare for a defense.
Lord.
And
oh my God.
Then on top of the stuff they do really well anyway, and the defensive staff did a great job of stopping what they're good at first. All right, the stuff under center, the old school traditional T, double wing T stuff that they do, they stopped that first. Well, I mean, they had a good backup plan. They went to dropping him back, and yes, he can throw the ball too, but if I felt like watching the big part of their game plan was drop back, 1 read, maybe 2 reads. If it's not there, find a gap and go.
Yeah.
And when they got into that, then that was our first 2 scores. We had trouble stopping it. Defense staff makes another great adjustment, ends up getting Solomon as a spy late in the second half. And then any pass situation, they kept him in, and just a great adjustment by them. The game plan was fine, but then you have to do a good job adjusting during the game, because guess what? They got plan B's and C's just like we got plan B's and C's. There's we're not reinventing the wheel of coaching over here. You got a great football staff. They're going to put together several plans that can feed off of each other, and they did a great job with that, and then our staff did a great job of answering that. And then special teams, you pick up the block punt, almost a scoop and score. Aiden gets it down to the 1-yard line. Lanny punches it in next play. Things that happened to us the week before, when you saw a similar score and a similar outcome, that tells you how big special teams are. I mean, those block punts, those getting the ball right there on the goal line and punching it in just to separate the score a little bit. If people don't think special teams is big, or people think you just put whoever on special teams, or you can put whoever on special teams, that is not the case in 7A. Like, I mean, that's every time our special teams unit goes out there has to be pride taken in what they're doing, because you saw it change a ball game 2 weeks ago. You saw it change a ball game. I mean, as little as it looked at the end of the D'Iberville game, it was a 1-score game. They were punting with less than 2 minutes left in the half.
Yeah.
If they stop us right there, we go into halftime, kicking off to them, 1-score ball game, and they scored on about the 3rd play of that drive, and then it's tied up. Yeah. But the fact that Eli does that, Aiden falls on it, Lanny punches it in next play, you're separated 2 scores. Now they're playing catch-up. And then Evan, the special teams player of week 6, has just been he's been money on his PATs and field goals, which those little bitty points, man, they matter. They matter a whole lot.
Like you said earlier, the offense looked balanced and explosive again. Let's talk about Solomon Baggett's performance and how the O-line helped set that tone for him early.
Yeah, he's coming into his own. I'm not saying he's learning the scheme. He's learning how to play behind this group of guys. It doesn't just come just out of fall camp and immediately, like, I know how these guys operate. I know when Ethan's shoulders turn this way, this was going to happen. That takes some development, some chemistry, and then also him getting completely healthy, and this is the first time I've seen him run like this since the first day of fall camp. When he kind of got a little banged up the first day of fall camp, and you're starting to see those flashes of what I saw that very first time I saw him run with pads on, and he's going to do nothing but continue to get better. The more experience he gets with this O-line, the more experience the O-line gets with him, because we've had some really, really good running backs here, but we haven't had one that does quite what he does. And there's been times, ask RJ, the very first practice that we had when Solomon's run the ball, RJ made the tackle 40 yards downfield, being a left tackle, because he was not expecting what was happening out there. I mean, he ran into his own running back because he wasn't expecting what was going on, and those guys have to learn how to block for him too. Yeah. And then you got it's the wild card of having Laney that can tote the ball at any point in time and totes the ball with a big-time physicality, which, makes you respect him right while you're trying to stop Solo. And then Sherrod, who does very similar things, and is ultra explosive with his speed, and, he can take a ball 80 yards at any given time. And then where people, which I hope they keep doing it, they fail to recognize that Chalmers has picked up some huge third downs for us with his legs that are designed quarterback runs, but you forget about him. I mean, you got to worry about Laney. You got to worry about Solo. You got to worry about Sherrod. You got to worry about Eden in the run game. Then you got to defend Hayden and Logan in the pass game with all the rest of the receivers. And then it's like, well, I forgot about the quarterback. He can run pretty dang good too. Yeah. So. Yeah.
And speaking of quarterback Hayden Chalmers, he looks sharp. Well, what growth have you seen from him in the decision-making these past few weeks?
He's always been good at taking care of the football, but I had to challenge him a little bit the week prior to D'Iberville of don't ever lose your knack of letting one rip. Yeah. Like, you cut one loose every now and again. Trust your athletes. You got people like Sherrod who can run really, really fast. You got Ian runs great routes. Hayden is really big. Logan runs great routes and has great hands. And even if it's tight coverage, trust your man. Let that ball rip. And you saw it on his second pass of the ball game, where if we're going to watch it on film in a second, it's not that Sherrod's completely open, but he trusts his speed to throw him open and give a great athlete a chance to make a play. And then Sherrod went and did it, and I was like, that's what I was talking about, Chalmers. Let those guys go make big plays for you. It does not have to be open, and that's something that you never did when you were younger, was just sit there and wait, make sure it's open, I'm holding on to football. No, trust that your guy's going to make the play, and you let that thing rip, and you be an athlete back there as well. And did a great job. We threw 6 passes Friday night.
5 for 6.
We were 5 for 6, and we threw 2 of them for fun, to be honest. Not for fun, like just because it was like, all right, we can throw the ball a couple more times. And that he just did a great, and he never gets aggravated about the fact that we're continually calling run plays. It's still an opportunity for him to run this offense and make sure people in the right positions and make sure the timing of everything is great, and then run the ball some himself as well. But he made do with the 6 opportunities he got. But I think it proved a lot to us as a coaching staff, our team as players, and then to other people. We ran right into the teeth of one of the best defenses we played, and ran the ball 43 times and threw it 6, and felt really good about our game plan.
Yeah. On the defensive side, guys like Gabe Verga and Eli Chinut made plays all night.
Yeah, they did.
What stood out to you most about the defense's energy and execution?
One, their ability to set the edge. Brody, Jacoby, Peyton, Jax, those guys at the defensive end and linebacker position, and even at the safety position at certain times with Eli and Aiden, coming up and setting the edge on those tosses that D'Iberville loves to run, is when you can stop that play, you're forcing them into doing other things that, not saying they don't want to do those things, but you're taking away – all right, well, they run the toss to run this. Well, if they can't run the toss and they have to run this, then that's a problem for them. Gotcha. And those guys on the edge did a great job with that. And then Gabe Verga having 15 tackles, I think it was a fumble recovery or a forced fumble and a fumble recovery, and he just had a great night. I mean, but you have to against those type of teams, your inside linebackers have to have great nights. And if your inside linebackers have bad nights against a D'Iberville, a Picayune, a West Harrison, a team like that, you're not going to feel good about your defensive performance. And Gabe came out, and we talked to him a little bit today after practice of, how you feel about it. He gave credit to coaches and gave credit to the way we practiced, but it was that time for him to show up and show out, and he showed up and showed out.
He most definitely did. Let's talk about the special teams. They came up big again, like you said, with that block punt recovery on the goal line. You told us how big that momentum shift was for the team on the road. When that block punt happened, did you hear how the oxygen went out in the stadium?
Yeah, I mean that. I felt it from the other side the week prior. I mean, that is not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling. I'm glad it happened to us when it did. You hate that it did, but it allowed us to fix a couple things. And whenever that happens, when you're backed up, it's like it's a coach's worst nightmare, and two, like you said, is a deflator. It takes the energy smooth out of a crowd. You went from one, all right, we didn't feel very good about our offensive drive, but our defense has been playing pretty good. We'll kick it to them. We'll hold them out. We'll go into halftime. We'll adjust and, regroup. Right. And then it turns into a block. And I told Brother Sam, I think Aiden Watson just doesn't like touchdowns. That's too easy of a job. He should have just picked it up and walked it in. But I get he was playing with a high football IQ, wanted to burn a few more seconds off the clock, not let them have as much time to get the ball back. But, no, it's Eli did a great job. Like he said, spoiler alert, his part of that punt block was to be the recovery guy. It was another individual that was supposed to be the block guy, and that's just as part of coaching special teams. You have a block guy, you have a scoop guy, and when they turned the scoop guy loose, he made a football play, and that's why I talked to him a lot during pregame about during my pregame talk with the players was when the time comes for you to be a hero, do not let the moment be too big. You go do a job and you be the hero, and he saw his opportunity, he went and took it.
Yes, he did, man. That was a big play.
Yeah.
How proud are you of the way the team bounced back after that Week 6 loss?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very proud of them, but it's become it's more I expect that.
Yeah. So the standard is set.
Yes, bad things do happen. Do I want to ever lose a game? No, I don't. I wanted to end the regular season 10-0, and I wanted to end the full season 14-0. That's because that's why we go to work every day.
Yeah.
And but you lose, and the likelihood of you losing that game during the season is very high. And we lost a game, and it was a game that we really didn't want to lose, but there was another team that wanted it more than us. Well, my expectation is for you to fix the problem. Right. and handle your business with maturity and learn and grow from the situation and not dwell on it. And that's what I was proud of, was the maturity of, hey, yes, people are going to talk bad about you.
Right.
People are going to talk about your streak coming to an end.
Yeah.
Who cares?
All right.
Put it in the back of your brain. Let's go. Let's fix the issue that we just had. Don't ever let it happen again. And that's why I tell them never to forget it. Yes, put it past. Don't forget it, because there may come a time again when that team arises, and I want you to remember what happened last time.
All right.
I always want you to remember that, because you better not let it happen again.
Yeah. All right. So let's get ready to go into Inside the Huddle with Coach Bramlett. And we're going to go over some of the impact plays that stood out for the game.
Yeah, it's going to be nice and cool. I think I got 5 of them up here. So it won't be a long one. It'll be a good one. But we're going to start out with, I believe this was the 5th play of the game. Sherrod had already had a big-time catch. And, it was a third down conversion that he had 2 plays prior to this, and then Solo hits a run to get us in the second one, and felt good about pushing this ball downfield, something that we worked on all week. And this is one of those times where I told you, I talked to Chalmers during the week, hey man, give your athlete a chance to let this thing rip. We had a safety matched up on Sherrod that was already spun down on the line of scrimmage. And it does not look like Sherrod's got him beat right now, but he knows what Sherrod can do with his legs. You see him just cut one loose, and then Sherrod walks off from him, tries to drop the ball right there. he scared me to death whenever he started doing all that. But he's a good enough athlete to make that thing happen. And, fifth play of the game, we hit a big score with a big pass and get Sherrod going early. And also Chalmers is 2 for 2 at this point for about 70 yards. You feel good about your quarterback's rhythm then. Come back, and this is, I think, our third score of the game, if I'm not mistaken. We run a play. We do not block it up well at all. Our offense lines fix this issue, but it's just a simple draw play. But seeing a look that we weren't quite expecting, caught a couple of our offensive linemen off guard, but it's just showing you what Solomon does with the ball. And it makes 1 miss, 2 miss, 3, 4, 5, and then outruns number 6. And that's him feeling himself at this point. Like he's starting to get really good at the feel for the speed of 7A football. Make sure we're on the right play right here. Nope, I added the wrong play. That's okay. I had the block punt on here by Eli prior to that, but I think I clicked on the wrong one. So you're getting to play right after Eli's block punt, right to end the second half. Lanny's been doing a great job playing that tight end hit position. Obviously, he's still a great running back, so I'm going to give him some love for what he's been doing up front in the trenches. And comes up and he will not be denied when he's that close to an end zone. He's putting his head down. Now there's an SEC linebacker screaming at him. He's getting what he can. He could have had an easier path, but he saw yellow and just went full head of steam at it. Come back. This is a great run by Solomon again, and a great job up front. And I told RJ didn't understand what I was talking about at the end of the game. I kept calling him OC RJ, and it was like finally we got back to the locker room like OC, and I'm like offense coordinator, man. You called for this play in the huddle. I was trying to come up with something great to call, a great play, and Coach Lamp the same way, and RJ's like call. We want to run power. All right, well, we'll run power. Go for it. And he caves his side down. And then Solo makes a big play. By the way, that –
yeah. Ooh, Lord. You see that? From that view. Yeah.
This right here is that's dirty. That's dirty. But that was all we had. It wasn't a long deal, but it was some big time plays on there. I messed up. I was trying to put Eli's block on there because it was a great block. It was a form block. Both hands together, going over top of the kicker's foot, and it set us up in a big place. Like I said, just separating the game right there before halftime. There's a lot that goes unnoticed right there because everybody just sees a 28-14, but the special teams did a big thing right there and helping separate that thing right before the half.
Most definitely, man. That was a way to wrap up that Week 7 victory in D'Iberville.
Yep.
So let's shift the focus to this week's game, which is the bye. It's going to be a tough one right here.
It's tougher than you think it is.
It really is.
It's tougher than you think it is.
I realize bye weeks are there. People think that's a break. It's really not.
It's not. I have which we've talked about several times on the show, but the kids, they come in on the TVs that are in the locker room. I have their schedule for the day or any what they're supposed to be dressing in, and any type of short message I may have for them, just real quick, just something to get your attention. But always at the bottom of it says, "Be 1-0 this week." And I even had a coach ask me because he saw me sitting there. I was getting their PowerPoint slide together deal, and I left it at the end, and it was like, "What? Be 1-0? Like we're gonna beat her?" No, don't you let the bye week beat you. Don't let the bye week beat you.
Right.
Do not be unfocused. Do not be lazy. Do not think this is a break. Do not take advantage of the time off and the time to recuperate and not do the advantageous things to make yourself better. And that was my talk on Monday. Not only with players, coaches too. It's and myself as well. It's like, yes, we need this bye week really bad. I don't think we've recovered since the Piggy game, and that was week 4, and we're in week 8. And that's we finally get our bye week. Let's make do of it. One, let's take care of our bodies. Let's get in the weight room. Let's study up on the things we've been doing. And probably one of the most biggest advantages of having a bye week this late is the self-scout that the coaches get to do. Usually you do that with only 4 games in. Well, now we're self-scouting ourselves through 7 weeks and really finding tendencies, things that we do well, things that we don't do well that we thought we did well. All these good things, bad things that you can eliminate or fix or get better at, and then the kids come in on Monday and it's like, all right, well, here's what we came up with, and now we're about to do all these things that exemplify all these 3 or 4 things we do really well, and the few things that we do bad, we're either going to cut it or we're going to fix it. And that was a big part of this week, or still is a big part of this week. There's still half the week to go, but it was my biggest message to them was don't just take this week and be like, okay, we're good. We don't have to worry, which none of these kids are. They want to play on Fridays, and half of them are like, I just can't believe we're not playing somebody this Friday. It doesn't feel right. Well, it is your biggest opportunity to get better, and you don't even realize it because you're not prepping for somebody else. You're prepping yourself, and you're prepping your football team to be better instead of prepping to stop somebody else's football team. So that's been my message to them this week, and don't let the bye week beat you. And I know we always talk about 1-0, and it starts getting cliche at times, but I think this one speaks more volume than some of the other ones of you can't beat yourself. And beating yourself can happen in the bye week. It can happen against other football teams. How are you going to handle that?
Right. Yeah. You just answered that. So without giving too much away, so what's the mindset for the group heading into this final stretch of the regular season?
Well, obviously, controlling your complete own destiny is out of the question because you lost one ball game, but you can control the rest of it. And, if anything happens that gives you a benefit outside of that, then, great. But that's going to take other people to do that. But you get to control every aspect of having a home playoff game to start the playoffs off with, and that's our main goal. You go the next 3 weeks after this one, win your next 3 ball games, you will be hosting a home playoff game, and that's the
mission.
Yeah, and that we want to be a 1 seed, but the way Region 3 is playing out, I don't know how beneficial it is outside of winning your region championship. And if things play out where we get in a little tiebreaker situation for it, great. If not, we're controlling these next 3 weeks, and we're making sure that we put ourselves in a great situation. And then whoever comes in, we're going to do our best to handle business. And I feel really good about this football team and their experience in doing it. But we're working on ourselves right now. We'll sprinkle in some future opponents, especially the most upcoming opponent in West Harrison. We'll sprinkle some stuff in here and there, but to make sure that we're just getting an idea for the look. But it's all focused on the Greyhounds right now, and what are we doing to make ourselves better as a football team in the film room, in the weight room, in the training room, and on the field.
Yeah. All right, y'all. That's going to do it for tonight's episode of the Big Game Breakdown, powered by Bingo Media, presented live from Knuckleheads right here in downtown Ocean Springs. Huge shout out to Coach Bramlett for breaking down the big Week 7 win over D'Iberville. Okay. All right. Yeah. And to our assistant coaches that came by and kicked it with us over there, you got Coach Lee,
Coach Collin,
and
Coach Daigle, and her whole family were here.
Right.
And don't forget about the volleyball game.
Yeah.
That's probably the most important thing this week is making sure that we support them and bring home a state championship to Ocean Springs.
Yes, and like he said, of course, special thanks to Coach Christina Daigle and our Lady Greyhound volleyball team. The whole city's behind y'all.
Yep.
Let's go get that 7A state championship Thursday night and bring that gold ball back to the coast. Mm-hmm. All right. We want to also thank our amazing sponsors who make this show possible every single week. We have Knuckleheads for hosting and feeding the Greyhounds Nation. We have Singing River Connect Fiber Internet powering Coach's Corner. We have Unique Collision Center presenting our Coach's Spotlight. And we have the Garage Cash Alley Restaurant bringing you keys to the game. And our final remarks, the Greyhounds are on bye this week, but the mission don't stop. It's about recharging, refocusing, and getting ready for that final push toward the playoffs. For me, Seneca Bingo Hampton, and the entire Bingo Media crew, thank y'all for tuning in, sharing, and supporting. Follow us at Bingo Media LLC and Ocean Springs Greyhound Football for all your updates, interviews, and behind-the-scene actions. Until next time, stay locked in, stay humble, and as always, protect the brand. We'll see you next week right here on the Big Game Breakdown. I'm your host, Seneca Hampton. That's the man, Coach Bramlett.
And we're going to take it out with our players of the game at the end.
You know I was going to mess up, Dean.
Yeah, I knew
That's
it.
my guy right there. That's why they pay him the big bucks, man.
This is Chase Springer of Bingo Media here with Week 7 Special Teams Player of the Week, Evan Ty. Evan, you had a great performance, went perfect last week. Just what was your mindset into that game?
My mindset was just do what we do, special teams as a unit. I love all my guys. Perfection is key. Keep my head down, swing through the ball, just wait to hear the crowd.
So this is your first full year starting. Just how has the year been so far?
It's been really good. Had a lot of opportunities, missed a couple, but it's just some issues we need to fix, which we have. It's pretty great, guys. Good long snapper, good holder. Love them both. Can't do it without them. Great coaching.
Now, as a special teams unit, not a lot of guys. Who would you say is the vocal leader in y'all's group?
Our coach, of course, Coach Collins.
All right, now moving forward into the next weeks, how do you just plan to staying perfect?
Just do what I do best, kick the ball. Don't worry about anything else.
And that's your Week 7 Player of the Week, Evan Ty. This is Chase Spring with Bingo Media, here with the Week 6 Player of the Week and Week 7 Offensive Player of the Week, Solomon Baggett. Back-to-back weeks with huge performances. Just what was your mindset in these past 2 weeks to have 2 explosive games?
Really, they had dropped the All-Star games, and I didn't get put on neither list, so I had a chip on my shoulder to come out and ball out.
Now, after that Gulfport loss, y'all bounced back with a strong win, and you produce another great performance. Just what is your mindset moving forward now?
Don't be complacent. Don't let them games determine what the future is.
Now, when you break loose and start scoring, just what is going through your head?
To be honest, my body just take control, and all I can remember is just being in the end zone.
Now, I'm sure you're starting to become one of the vocal leaders just by proving what you're doing on the field. Just how have you kept this team grounded and just keep on moving forward?
By just letting them know that one little game doesn't determine us, that we've been winning all season, so we can pick it back up at any time.
Now, what would you say is the Greyhounds' final goal for the rest of this year?
To make it a state, of course, and win.
All right, appreciate it, Solomon. This is Chase Springer with Bingo Media with Eli Chenault, Week 7, Special Teams Player of the Week. Eli, you had a huge punt block that shifted the momentum of the game. Just what was your mindset going into that play and going into that game?
Really, I was supposed to be the scoop and score player, but when they hiked the ball, no one even touched me, so I just ran right through and blocked it.
Now, special teams is, a lot of people view special teams as, something they don't want to be on, something they don't take serious. Just what is your mindset about special teams?
I think special teams is a really, really important part of the game, and especially for the younger boys. If you want to get on the field, that's a great way to get on the field and get your name out there.
Now, what's your focus going forward moving into district play?
I would say my focus going forward is to make sure I do my assignment right every single play. And one thing I need to work on a lot is getting to my drop when I'm in the linebacker position.
All right, thank you, Eli. This is Eli Chenault with Chase Spring signing off.